Video 11. Is science the only form of true knowledge? Simple definition of knowledge. Let us start this video by asking a question. Can we include in the category of knowledge the various disciplines like science, religious belief, history, poetry and literature? There is a general opinion in the minds of people that only science is the proper kind of knowledge. In other words, most of the people do not treat the other subjects such as religious belief, history and poetry as forms of knowledge. For clearing this ambiguity, we would devote this video for defining knowledge in the most general manner. Our mind produces various mental events which are classified here as emotions and ideas. The word emotion represents many kinds of desires, feelings and will. On the other hand, ideas form a separate class of mental states. It is conventionally treated as the result of the activity of thought. An idea has content about external objects as well as about the mental states of self and other persons. In most of the cases, emotions and ideas are expressed in verbal language involving words and sentences. The capacity to conceive words and sentences is a distinguishing feature of human mind in comparison to the minds of animals and lower beings. A group of words are arranged according to the laws of grammar in order to form a sentence. The essential property of sentence is that it contains one or more ideas. Obviously, the sentences with the same content are different for different languages like English, Malayalam and Tamil. Now we may introduce the difference between information and knowledge. The ideas expressed in newspapers, other periodicals and books can be treated as information since it is commonly accessible to all persons. Hence it is like a public property. The contrasting features of knowledge may be given in the following paragraphs. Simply, knowledge is possessed by a particular person, that is a knowing mind. It is like a private property. Though an article in a newspaper is just an information perspective of a reader, it is knowledge existing in the mind of the writer if it satisfies the conditions elaborated below. This vital difference must be taken into account while arriving at the definition of knowledge. From among the set of all sentences formed in the mind of a person, we would now focus on those sentences called beliefs, which would express the idea about the existence of some aspect of universe. If I make a hypothetical and illusory sentence that I went to moon last year and lived there for 8 months, it is not a belief. It may be added that belief involves understanding. The beliefs can be divided into two classes, subjective and objective. A subjective belief or sentence expresses the feelings of a person including some forms of imagination as well as all kinds of emotions and opinions. It is in first person perspective. We can easily recognize that religious prayers as well as various forms of art and literature such as poetry, drama and novel fall within the realm of subjective sentences. Also, sentences expressing question, command and exclamation are to be included in this class. Now consider the class of objective beliefs. From such sentences, there is a specific group called proposition with the following two essential characteristics. 1. A proposition asserts on the basis of evidences the existence of certain object or event in this universe. 2. The information contained in the proposition may be true or false. Here it may be stated that propositions appear in all subjects such as science, religion, art and literature. Simply, proposition is an objective sentence which is valid on the basis of a set of evidences. Based on the fact that a proposition may be true or false, we can now give the simple definition of knowledge as following. Knowledge is a true proposition. A proposition is an objective belief expressed in third person perspective. The first, second and third perspectives are aspects of grammar since these are basically linked to the words I, you and it. We can add that he, she, they, that and similar words stand for it depending on the context. Accordingly, earth is round is a true proposition. For a person to get knowledge, he or she must have desire for it. For example, suppose two persons A and B are engaged in conversation. A is trying to explain a mathematical theorem to B. If B is not attentive, lacking the motivation to understand mathematics, the talk of A would not generate belief, that is knowledge, in the mind of B. It is necessary to keep the human mind at the center of the landscape of knowledge for embarking on further analysis. But it is possible to store propositions, that is knowledge, in books and newspapers as well as other mediums like electronic devices. However, from the reader's point of view, these are information only. The simple definition of knowledge as a true proposition is valid for all subjects such as science, religion, art and literature. From the given analysis of knowledge, we are challenged by some serious issues as below. 1. The question of true or false depends on the meanings of words as well as external evidence. How can we get reliable evidence? This is a perplexing question. For example, what is the proper evidence to the proposition that today is hot? 2. The evidences are different for different subjects like science, religion and art. There is an opinion that evidences are not absolute facts but are relative ideas. Hence, truth also must become relative to the context. In science, there are many unobservable objects such as electron, virus and bacteria and so on. Considering religion, the entities like God, soul and angel can also be treated as unobservable. In such cases, there are controversies about evidence and truth. The above points indicate that the simple definition of knowledge is inadequate. We have to address a deeper issue with regard to the evidence and truth in various subjects like science, religion and art. Moreover, it is necessary to explain the process of developing different subjects of knowledge. For that purpose, we can show that there are methods of forming new complex knowledge by combining some propositions in specific ways. Here the main methods are deduction, induction and cause-effect relation. More detailed treatment of deduction, induction and cause-effect relation will be given in the next video, paving the way for the complex definition of knowledge in proper perspective. Please subscribe to this YouTube video series. Thank you for watching.